Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and happy 2021. This might have scared you because you might have thought you're back in 2020, but don't worry, we have made it to the new year. I hope you all are staying happy, staying safe, and staying well, and hopefully staying crafty. But I definitely wanted to make sure I got this filmed and up pretty early this year. But we're going to look back at 2020. I did a couple of different sort of videos about bullet journaling and setting it up and all of that jazz and goal making. And usually I'm all gung-ho for making goals and for getting them on paper and making them known so that I can be held accountable and push towards my goals. This year's a bit different. I think everybody knows how 2020 went. We want something a bit fresh and different for 2021. So as I flip through here and we look back at 2020, I will tell you guys a little bit about what I want to do in 2021. But I want to reflect on my crafty goals, on my bullet journal. I did make it the full year, sort of, you'll see. But I tracked different things this year. I tracked all of the layouts I made. I tracked all the cards I made, and I tracked all of the empties that I had this year. So that's a new number. I've never done empties before. I also did track spending for half of the year, kind of gave up on the latter half because you guys know sometimes you put in, it's just a lot of effort to write down your tallies. So I'm going to go through my bank account and do it that way privately, but some of these spendings in here, so you'll still get a glimpse of sort of what I buy and how often I purchase. But as for my bullet journal in 2020, I had very high hopes. I actually made a list called 20 for 2020. I'm working on my list for 21, so it'll be 21 for 2021. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 things checked off the list out of 20. Some of these I probably could check off, but I'm not feeling it, so I didn't. Next up, I have movies in theaters and movies at home. I actually stopped tracking movies at home because, you know, I watched a lot of movies at home this year. But for movies in theaters, I made it up to 8. I had the chance to see Onward back in February. Actually, I think it was very early March before everything shut down. So got to see that. Got to see a lot of great movies at home too. Places visited. As you guys might remember, I did have a chance to go on a cruise very end of January, beginning of February this in 2020. So very excited about that. Got in a work trip and got in a visit to my brother in Florida, just a different city I hadn't been to yet. Then we have books I read, audiobooks, TV shows. I don't read very much, so this is a good number for me. I also don't watch a ton of TV, so this is a very impressive number for me. So here's just a little glimpse of what I've been up to. I definitely watched some more TV shows, but you know how you put on like a TV show or a documentary and you don't actually watch it, it's just playing, but then you see the end, so you know the end? There are several of those not included on here. I had a wish list, a crafty bucket list. I never filled that out, that's okay. Then we had some goals. You can see not all of them were checked off, and that's okay. I think the goal of 2020 by the end of it was just to make it through 2020 with just a semblance of gratitude, and, you know, just making it to 2021 was a feat within itself because there was so much that happened and so much that went on, and it still feels unreal that everything that's still going on. But hopefully, again, you're staying well and staying safe. But in terms of crafty goals, I did have a few. A lot that I didn't keep up with. Did I finish my Disney 2016 album? A lot of people keep asking me this a few months ago. They're like, end of the year's coming. Are you going to finish your album? I finished the first album. Now, I did not anticipate needing to do 2 albums for this trip. So I finished the first album. It is chock full, probably too big. I might move some of the pages to the second album. But I have gotten probably a quarter of the way through the next set of the album. So is it technically done? No. Is it kind of done? Yeah, I finished the 1 album, so that technically counts. Journal on my layouts every month. I didn't do that. I think I did that maybe 1, 2, 3 months at the very beginning. Use more than I buy. You guys will see my empty count. I'm pretty sure I used more than I bought. But then again, if I buy a paper pad, does it count how many sheets there are, or is that 1 item? You can be the judge of that. Donate 50 handmade cards. I haven't sent my handmade cards yet. Probably should have, but I haven't sent them yet. But I do have cards to donate. Create 1 acrylic painting. I didn't get into painting. I'm not sure if it's just because with my mixed media that I've done here at the end of 2020, you guys saw me doing my minimal mixed media series. I was using paint, and I didn't have the desire to use paint on multiple mediums. And if I'm being quite honest, I haven't scrapbooked since Thanksgiving, and we now know it's January. So it's been well over a month since I've scrapbooked, and it's been A+ great. I don't mind not scrapbooking. I'm doing other things like I'm doing a huge purge right now because I'm going to be moving, so I want to get rid of the stuff that doesn't serve me and no longer is my taste or my style. And if you guys are going through your stuff and want to get rid of some scrapbooking or crafting supplies, I actually have random craft supplies I'm also getting rid of. Try to find a local charity you can donate to besides a Goodwill or besides the Salvation Army. There are lots of great places. I know near me locally, there's a sort of reuse center where they put kits together for families so they can do art projects and they can do science projects with things like scrapbook paper and things like cardboard boxes. And I'm going to be donating to that kind of organization this time. I've also donated a ton of clothes to other sharing centers in my area because there's a lot of people out there who are struggling, who got laid off, who no longer have homes, and we need to make sure we're supporting those local places that are really on the ground doing the work and helping those people with temporary housing or with more clothes for these colder months. So be sure to try to do as much local as you can when you're purging, and I'll be sure to do some videos with you guys about how I'm going through the process of getting rid of my supplies and how I decide what to get rid of, because I know we tend to have I don't know what we should call it, maybe scrapper's fallacy, where we think that if we keep it, we will use it. Even if it's not our style currently, even if it's something we've never been to. Say you have a cowboy related sticker set, yet you have nothing in your life related to cowboys, but you want to keep it because you bought it, you spent money on it. There's probably a real word for that, but scrapbooker's fallacy is kind of fun too. Next up was track crafty expenses. I did do that a majority of this year and plan on filling out the rest by just looking back at my statements. Launched my first online class. Didn't get a chance to do that. I actually took quite a bit of a break or a step back from a lot of my online responsibilities. So I'm stepping out of collabs for 2021, and I toned down my Patreon for 2021 just so I could focus on what I really want to do and to focus on myself. So if you haven't checked my Patreon out, I did change it. So if you were interested before, there are different tiers now. So maybe you'll be interested again at the different tier rates. Reach 5,000 subscribers. We were this close to doing it. I think if I had posted maybe throughout December, if I'd done Vlogmas, maybe I would have hit 5,000, but I know we'll do that in 2021, and that's a-okay with me. Have 15 patrons. We are well above 15 patrons, and I cannot be more thankful for all of them. We had a great time at my first online crop. You can see here the next one's go to a crop. I hosted an online crop for my 2-year Patreon anniversary back in September, and it was so much fun. A whole weekend of challenges and live streaming my content, and then live streaming talking with everyone on Patreon, so it was super duper fun. And then send more happy mail. I sent a bunch of cards this year, which I was really happy about, especially with, you know, the pandemic. Getting something in the mail is exciting at that point, especially when it's unexpected. So I love sending cards to my friends and family when it was unexpected. I did have a few personal goals that I wrote in here. A lot of things I do personal-wise are more intentions than goals. I did have volunteer 3 times. The pandemic kind of put a stress on that. It was very hard to do anything at that point, so that kind of fell off the wayside. Create a financial plan. I do have a budget, but I don't have like a long-term financial plan like I wanted in terms of investing and all of that jazz. So maybe I'll work on that this year. Visit a new country. I did do that thanks to the cruise. I got to visit Jamaica before everything shut down. And then if I skip some of these other pages, we will start with the flip throughs of all of the months. So each month we had the creations, the spending, the checklist, and the favorites and empties. So you can see here, I did a very simple style throughout all of this. Just lists. Look at April. No buy. Look at me go. I did it. Did 1 month. That's all you need to do. If you can get through 1 month, you can get through 2 months, you can get through 3 months. If you can get through a week, you can get through 2 weeks. Promise. You can do it. May. So as I flip through here, just as a little glance before we get to the totals, I will say for January, I am on a spending freeze. Again, I am moving. There's no sense in buying things since I can't really, I've got to put it in a box and move it. So while I won't be crafting too much, I plan on doing a few projects here in January so I can have some videos for you in February when I move, but this might not be true. I don't remember if I bought anything in June. I can't remember. And then we can keep going. Yeah, July, I bought some stuff for my birthday. but I am looking forward to doing some great things in 2021. And I don't think I'm going to set specific goals this year. I think I like the total idea. I like setting a goal of 200 layouts every year. I think it's a nice number. It's you know, it's a strive. You know, you're not necessarily always going to get there, but it's fun if you do. I don't think I bought anything in October, but that might be false. November was a pretty spread because I wanted to color, so I made a pretty version. Then we have the creations, and then we have December, which was just a favorites page, which I didn't film a favorites video because I didn't craft. I did finish off a couple empties, but for other projects, but they happen to be scrapbooking supplies, so I included them here. And then we only have a few pages left of this notebook. So this is 2018 and 2019. Will I do bullet journaling again in 2021? Did I say 18 and 19? I meant 19 and 20, my bad. I don't know. I don't love bullet journaling to the extent other people seem to, like on the internet, all those beautiful crazy pages. Not necessarily my thing, but I do like making lists. So this list process has been really, really great for me, and it allows me to track. So in terms of layouts last year, I created 155 layouts last year and 41 cards. That's like a huge number for me. I mean, that's a lot of output. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That seems abnormal. It seems like no one should be putting in that much, but again, it depends your storytelling type and your memories and what you want to put. Then we have this year. Drum roll, please. That's my attempt at a drum roll. We had 190 layouts, 71 cards, and 74 empties. So as you can see, we did a huge increase from the previous year, 2019 to 2020. So I'm excited. I don't know if I expected those numbers. Usually I do make a number goal of around 200 just because it's a stretch. It's usually 200 projects, by the way, so that'd be cards plus layouts. So we did hit it this year, not this year. We're really close this year. I definitely could have if I really, really, really tried to squeeze in a couple more cards, but overall, I'm super happy. 74 empties is a huge plus, and they weren't always small empties. We did 6x6 paper pads, washi tape rolls, sequin packs, stickers. I don't think we had any empty die cuts, but stickers, you know, chipboard, all sorts of stuff. And I couldn't be happier with that. I think, you know, with scrapbooking, again, it depends on your style and your preference and your storytelling goals. But I got to tell a lot of stories from a lot of different perspectives, and I think it's important that there is a sort of whole picture. We've covered a lot of ground. We've done 2016, we've done 2020, you know, and everything in between, it seemed. So we got some wonderful things scrapbooked, and although this year changed a lot of things for a lot of people, for everyone really, this has been a constant for a lot of you. And even though you might not be scrapbooking right now, it'll always be there and you'll always have some supplies. So whether you have to downsize because you have to move, whether you have to downsize because you want to sell some of your supplies to make some extra money, scrapbooking will always be here, and there's always cheaper ways to do it, whether it's just grabbing a journal and journaling, and then one day you'll be able to print out the photos and put them on some pretty pages. Storytelling is a constant, and I want you guys to know that no matter your circumstances, no matter what's happening, you can keep telling your story. And I really hope that in 2021, you take some time to live your story and not just wanting to tell it. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a lot more progress in terms of getting closer to being back to, you know, a society that we can all go to the grocery store and shop without having to go down an aisle one direction. But maybe I kind of like that, because then you know how some people put their carts and then you can't get by them with your cart. I don't know, maybe I like that part of it with the directions, but hopefully one day things will be a bit more what was considered normal before, in terms of being able to walk outside and not have to carry your mask with you in case you had to walk close to somebody, or you could go to a park and sit on a bench and not have to worry. You could go to a restaurant and not have to worry, but it's going to be more time waiting until that happens. And like I said, scrapbooking and creating and creativity and storytelling will always be there. So if you get a chance to do something fun, if you get a chance to play a board game with your family, if you get a chance to watch that movie, do it. Even if you're at home and you've watched a million movies and your kid wants to watch another movie, or your significant other wants to watch a movie, just do it. take a quick pic, take a journal and write something down. One thing that I talked about over on Patreon is I started a daily journal when I turned 24 in 2020. I got a journal for my birthday from my lovely friend, and I decided I would write in it every single day. Sadly, that is no longer the case. I had a lot of things happen in 2020, and one thing happened after another, and I fell off of that. But I am starting to do digital journaling because I can do it from my bed. I can do it in the morning as soon as I wake up. I can do it right before I go to sleep, and just have an outlet that is something that's not as invasive as, you know, needing glue and paper and pretty things, but that I can, you know, reflect now to then document later. So I'm really excited to see what happens in 2021. I think there's a lot of good ahead for us. As for my channel, I hope to keep uploading for you guys, and Patreon will be there too. So if you're interested in getting more content from me, I am on there all the time and posting my weekly vlogs over there. But goals for 2021, I'm just coasting by. I will have my 200 projects goal, so 200 cards / layouts / whatever else I might make. Maybe I'll do a painting this year. And I'm still working on it. And I think it's important that you know that you can set goals anytime. And like I said, I have done goal videos in the past. With 2020 Creative Reset, I did that whole series about goal making and sticking to your goals. And 2020 really had it out for me and didn't want us to focus on our goals anymore. So you can definitely go through that again if you're interested in setting goals for 2021. I talk about all the different types of goals you can set, time-based, you know, quantity-based, etc. But yeah, there's a lot of big things ahead. My plans right now are purging, so there'll be a lot of purging videos and how you guys can realize what's no longer serving you in your stash and how you could, you know, get rid of it or use it up or whatever it may be. So be on the lookout for those. And if there's anything you want to see this year from me, please leave a comment down below. Like I said, there is a lot going on in this world, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in terms of my channel, because I love a good process video, but again, it's been a month since I've actually scrapbooked, so maybe it's a bit different. Maybe I should do something different with my channel. I don't know. I'd love to hear from you guys though, and just hear what you guys are up to, because I know it's been a hard year, and I know I haven't uploaded in a bit. I did end up taking a break, as I posted on the YouTube community tab, which was a well-rested break. I think I missed being busy though, so I did miss you guys quite a bit and making videos for you guys. So I will be back very soon to do something, even if it's just talking and flipping through some paper pads, which just sounds, looking at cute things and pretty papers is just, it sounds like a good afternoon, doesn't it? So hopefully you guys will tune in if I ever do that, or when I do that. But for now, be on the lookout for some videos of me sorting through supplies that no longer serve me, and be on the lookout for a good year ahead. If we think it, it'll happen. There will be a good year ahead. I just know it. And again, I hope you guys are staying well and staying safe and staying crafty if you can. But thank you so much for watching this 2020 recap with me. Did I have a favorite layout this year? Maybe. I don't know which one it was. I could flip through this whole thing and I don't know if I'd be able to pick one out. In case you're wondering, my greatest month for, let's see, layouts was the month of May. And then the greatest month for cards was April. Interesting. And as you can see here, 0 cards and layouts for December, because I didn't do any. But yeah, it's been a crazy year. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to 2021, as am I. And I will see you guys again in a video very, very soon. Bye, guys.